make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. This is the video that Baylor fans all around Waco, because let's be honest, they're not really all around the country. They're not. Y'all aren't gonna enjoy this. We do ask that you listen because it's a real conversation. Logan, obviously, year two, Dave Aranda, not year two, game two of the season. Dave Aranda doesn't have the team exactly where he'd probably hope it was. Year four, he definitely, if this is year one, you can kind of write this off. Okay.
Yeah.
He struggled first game of his career at Baylor. He plays a ranked team, you end up losing. Man, this is year four. 20-18 in 4 seasons. Starts with the season where you're 2-7, and then 2-7 to 12-2. A real low to a real high. Going into year 3, everybody's thinking Dave Aranda is the best coach in the Big 12. He goes 6-7, and now you're 0-2, and we're looking like, all right, is Baylor going to be able to save this season and make a bowl game? What are you thinking?
I mean, as far as the rest of this year goes, I feel like we have a possibility. But that just completely relies on if we can get a win at all. I mean, I think that this weekend we'll start to see us win just because we're gonna beat Long Island. Hopefully.
Should
I'm not
by
gonna guarantee
35, but yeah.
exactly. I'm not gonna guarantee anything though because we've seen crazy stuff so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
It starts last week. I mean, right after that Utah game, we got to fix something. Our offensive line has to get together and figure out how they can stop getting these false starts on drives where we should score touchdowns. That started in week 1 whenever we had 4 in the first 2 possessions. Started again last week whenever it started to look better, and then come to our second possession, I believe, is whenever we got the first one, and then it just started going downhill from there. I think we ended up with 5 last week. We got to get that fixed. Our defense has got to get itself together. There's one point in the game where we had 10 people on the field during a key moment of the game against Utah. So Matt Pallich has to work that out. There's a lot of kinks that need to be straightened out. I mean, offensive line played a lot better last week besides the false starts. I mean, Dominic Richardson's running the ball well. Not sure what's going on with Richard Reese still. Offensive game, just planning. The second half, it went to crap. I mean, Sawyer rolled his ankle whenever he should have probably gave the ball on a read option. He ended up getting rolled up. Mm-hmm. So that kind of hurt, but at the same time, it comes to a point to where stick with what's working. And we didn't do that. We tried to just run the ball, and they were able to sniff that out easily.
Yeah, looking at the quarterback stats, man, when your backup quarterback comes in, obviously you expect a drop-off. Any team in the country expects a drop-off because if they expected it to get better, that guy would be the starter, right? But Sawyer Robertson, man, 45% completion percentage, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The only thing he's doing better than Shapen is he's only been sacked once instead of twice.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, I guess he's also a semi-run threat, although you don't even really say that because he has 8 carries for 33 yards, but yet he has 1 carry of 31 yards, so 7 for 2 on those other 7. When you talk about hot seat, there's some coaches, Daniel Holgerson over at Houston, Neil Brown at West Virginia, where there's legit chance they get fired before week 7. I don't know as if that's the case here. In fact, I kind of lean that it's not the case. The problem is you're 0-2, which means you need to win 6 games in the rest of the season to make a bowl game. That's the bare minimum to save it. Anything less than that is an absolute failure. 6 is a failure. I'm looking at the schedule. We need 6. See if we can count and get there. For sure wins. That's all I'm counting. Long Island.
It's 1.
Yeah, I know. I stopped. Now, that wins that I feel super confident in. Long Island, I do believe that y'all beat Iowa State. I do believe that y'all beat Houston. I do believe that y'all beat West Virginia. That'd be 4.
Yep.
The other 2 wins have to either come from Texas, UCF, Tech, Cincinnati, Kansas State, or TCU. You have to win 2 of those. I don't think Texas is especially if Sawyer Robertson plays that game, he might throw 3 interceptions in that game. I don't see, even Blake, I don't see you beating Texas. UCF actually is playing pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Not that, they're like super impressive. I mean, they beat Boise State, but Boise State doesn't lose at home very often. Like that was actually most people, casual people aren't going to know that, but Boise State at home on Smurf turf, they're pretty good. So I don't know if y'all beat them, and it's on the road. Texas Tech is 0-2 as well. A loss to Wyoming sucks. A loss to Oregon. I think currently Oregon would be better than Utah just because of Utah's injuries. Utah healthy is probably better than Oregon. Cincinnati's 2-0. Didn't they get a pretty good win this weekend? No, they beat Pitt, so nothing too special. But I don't know as if I say y'all beat them. Kansas State, I think, is pretty good. I don't think y'all beat them. And then TCU, we've gotten to see them against a Colorado team that's looking pretty good, and then a pretty trash Nichols. So out of those 6 losses or toss up, what do you want to call them? Who do you think is the most likely that y'all get y'all's other 2 wins that y'all need for a bowl game?
I would say probably Cincinnati, and then I would lean Tech. I think that would probably be our second most winnable game. I think
You don't
TCU.
think Joey McGuire knows exactly how to beat
I'm
Baylor
sure
right
he
now?
does. I mean, it's not. It doesn't seem that difficult. I would say TCU just because it's a rivalry game. That one has not been going in our favor the past couple of years. So that one, I don't care how they look. I'm always going to be worried about that game. I mean, K State is going to be K State. They're going to be able to throw the ball. They're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to have defense. Texas is just out the window completely at this point. I mean, I'd just be grateful to score points.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I
We could be
am.
the first Big 12. Texas. Listen, I'm a Texas fan. We're gonna drop one this year that we shouldn't, and then that could be it. I
hope
hope
it
it's
is.
not. I really hope it's not. But I look
No,
at y'all's schedule, and I think out of
I
the
don't know.
6, I think UCF is y'all's best out of those 6 games, mainly because Plum Lee, their quarterback, has 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's a good running. He's got 163 yards as a quarterback, but as a actual quarterback, he's pretty trash. I don't think Cincinnati is a good option. I would say TCU might actually be. It's hard because preseason I had y'all doing better, but I had Tech doing better too. And I don't think Tech has fallen off to the point where nobody's saying Joey McGuire's on the hot seat yet. So I will say that I think y'all beat TCU more likely than beating Tech. So UCF and TCU would be the other 2 wins. It hurts y'all not winning that Texas State game because it's a lot easier for y'all to make a bowl game with that win.
Yeah. I mean, especially whenever that's supposed to be one of your guaranteed wins. I mean, I think the biggest thing going on in Waco and surrounding areas where Baylor fans are is just it's been 312 days since we beat Oklahoma. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that was the last team that we've beat so far. But I mean, it's to the point to where there's so many games we should have won. We should have beat TCU last year. We should have beat who did we lose to at the end of the year last year? We should have beat Air Force. I mean, there was just games. I mean, I'm gonna give Texas and K State those games for sure. I mean, I can't think the last one, but I mean, it's just so many games that we should have won. We should have won last week. Like how we played in the first half. Oh man, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, and it's just so wild because we were all. I mean, everybody. Jason over at Hall of Fame Media. Everybody was thinking Dave Aranda might be the best coach in the Big 12. Just from 2-7 to 12-2, winning the Big 12, winning the Sugar Bowl against Ole Miss, an SEC team.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at it like, dude, he did it. He flipped the script, and it took him 2 seasons, and he got it done. Year 3 should be a improvement on 12-2, because that 12-2 is kind of even got a little asterisk by it, right? Just because the way y'all lost to TCU and Oklahoma State that year. And then you turn around and beat Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game. So even with that loss, it's like, hey, that's, put an asterisk by it, because y'all probably win that game. If you play it 10 times, you probably win it 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah.
That interception by Bohannon, why are you even throwing the ball against TCU? I don't remember what happened against Oklahoma State, but regardless,
Oklahoma
to
State
go from
turned the
that,
ball all over us.
okay, to go from that to 6-7 last year, where you lose the last 4, to 0-2 now, where, I mean, you beat Long Island, obviously, but I can see a world in which you drop Texas, UCF, Tech, and Cincy.
Yep. And I agree.
I can see it. I don't think it's probable, but I do think you lose the next 2 and you start the season 1-4. And at that point, even if there's teams that you should beat, what is the team playing for? What are the people playing for? He says person over player, but we're going to find out if these players are thinking coach over wins.
Yep.
And I don't know if they are.
And we're also about to start seeing recruits doing the same thing, and that's what worries me the most. I mean, at this point, do I want to see a head coaching change? Not exactly at this moment. Now, farther along in the season, my answer is probably going to be different. Right now, what I'm thinking is that we made the wrong move in the offseason getting rid of our defensive coordinator instead of getting rid of Grimes. In my opinion, I don't think Grimes helped us out at all last year or so far this year with his play calling on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, I like Matt Pallage. I love the energy he brings. I think that he's going to share a lot of the same ideas that Dave Aranda does as far as coverages and schemes and everything like that. But I don't think our defense was necessarily the problem as far as coaching wise. I think that we fell short as far as personnel, but I don't think that should have made us have a coaching change there.
The defense is so hard right now because it's the hard part is I don't know what to think, because you give up 42 to Texas State, and then Texas State goes and scores 13 against UTSA and loses. If Texas State had gone and beat UTSA 42-20, then you're like, hey, maybe this UTSA, maybe they're not good, or maybe Texas State is really good. But that's not what happened. But then you give up 42 to them, but then you hold Utah to 13 until like the last 2 minutes. And it's like, what is this? The high is really good and the low is trash. Mind you, it's a Utah team without a quarterback. They probably score more. Well, they definitely score more with Cam Rising. But even then, their offensive line is pretty good. Their run game is pretty good. And Jacundon Jackson late in the game kind of broke a long one off and then had some pretty decent runs to get his stats up. But for the most part, your defense was like against a top 15 team. They played solid. They bend but didn't really break until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to take it. I don't know where to take the defense. The offense, we know where to take it. Your run game is kind of trash. Richard Reese, who we both were thinking potential Doak Walker, it'd be a real dark horse Heisman, all Big 12 for sure. He's not even getting the ball. Dominic Richardson is, and not to sound hateful on him, because he's doing his thing, 30 for 156, no touchdowns, but 5.2 per carry, super solid. You're not mad at that at all. Receiving, Hal Presley is doing his thing. That's cool. Ketron Jackson is doing his thing. But Monterey, basically useless. Burton, the walk-on, is doing pretty good. Dabney's doing good. But there's other receivers on this, like Armani Winfield. Where did that guy go?
Jordan Neighbors, Josh Cameron. I mean, we have a pretty good receiving room. Like, we have all the height, all the size, all the speed that you could want pretty much at any given time. Now, we don't have Texas receiving room, but as far as a Baylor receiving room, in my opinion, this is one of the best that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, there's one, maybe two teams in the country that have a room better than us. So don't compare it to
Exactly.
us.
I mean, that's
Defensively, we've got Matt Jones, who Logan has spent the last what feels like 8 seasons, even though we've only been friends for 2 years, telling me that this guy is the most mediocre linebacker on the team. And
yeah.
now
I mean,
he's
he
leading the team in tackles.
surprised the
And
crap out
last
of me
week
last
was
week.
everywhere, dude. He was
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, between him and Mike Smith, I was just like, wow, our linebacker core is actually really good. I mean, just looking at last week, anyways, I mean, they were both body slamming that Nate Johnson, and
Yeah.
that was somebody that our defense couldn't catch for the most part. I don't know. Matt Jones surprised the crap out of me. Secondary wise, last week we played a lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen. Just because Devin Lemire is hurt, and I think we just wanted to see how they fared up against Utah compared to the guys that started week 1 against Texas State. D-line's been playing really good. I'm really impressed with Trey Wilson. He's a true freshman D-line. He's been playing well. He's been getting pressure, forcing fumbles, everything like that. I mean, it's about time for Matt to do something, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have done it last year. I don't know. I'm happily surprised.
Yeah, I am too, because I've watched him for a couple years now, and so this is, I got to catch the second half of Baylor's 21 season. That's when we kind of started talking more, and it's good to see him develop, but it's pretty rough when it seems like he's kind of the only one, in my opinion, that I've seen for a couple years start developing.
Yeah.
Back to Dave Aranda, and we can wrap it up here. He's in a prove me wrong situation in Waco. Because it's hard once you start losing the fans. You may have all the faith or your AD may have all the faith in the world in you. But when you're losing fans, generally that means you're not recruiting well. And Baylor is already a team that kind of struggles in recruiting. So you can't afford, this is such a crucial time too. The Big 12 is changing. It changed this year. It's changing again next year. This was supposed to be a year that Baylor goes out and proves something so that when Utah and Colorado join, it's not Baylor getting just 2 more people, that's going to be ahead of them. But unfortunately, it is looking like that. Not only is it looking like that, it's also looking like other teams in the Big 12. Let's just who's doing better than you on recruiting right now in the Big 12 other than Texas, Oklahoma?
Probably
Texas
everybody,
Tech,
except for Iowa State.
Texas Tech, UCF, Arizona will be there, TCU, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Kansas, Arizona State. That's the top 50. Let's keep going. Iowa State, Baylor at 58, 59, Oklahoma State at 60. Ooh. Iowa State, dude. Iowa State is out recruiting y'all. They have 16 3-stars. Y'all have 13.
Do we have a 4-star in there?
Nope. West Virginia has 23 stars. Kansas has 2 4-stars and 13 3-stars.
Where's Jalen Porter at? He's 4-star.
Jalen Porter.
Yeah. He was a 4-star.
It shows him as a 4-star, but I don't know. It has him not ranked nationally, so I don't know.
There's no telling. I mean, I don't know what to do at this point as far as what I think is the best thing to do.
Who do you want is the question. If Dave goes, who you want? You want Jeff Traylor? You want Jimbo Fisher from A&M? What's on your wish list?
I mean, off the top of my head right now, I'm going Jeff Traylor at UTSA.
Matt Rule coming back to Waco?
That's not going to happen.
But if it could, would that be somebody you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll take Matt Rule back? Or no, because he'd probably dip as soon as you
No, yeah, I was about to say I don't think I'd want Matt Rule back. I would lean Lance Leipold.
leave Lance alone. Everybody wants Lance. Let
Well,
Kansas
duh,
have
look at what
something
he's
for
doing.
once.
And then GJ Kinney. I mean, he's a young guy that looks
Who's
like
that?
he's going to be pretty good. Texas State head coach.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, he was 11-2 at Incarnate Word last year in his first year being head coach, and Texas State does not look bad. Now that's just based off 2 games this year against Jeff Traylor and Dave Aranda. So I think that would probably be my top 3 at the moment.
You don't wanna go after a Nick Saban tree.
I don't even know who
Tommy
we
Reese,
consider.
offensive coordinator from Alabama right now.
Potentially. I don't know enough about
You
him.
can't take our offensive coordinator because it's our head coach. So
No, give me Gary Patterson.
but for real though, if he wanted to make
Baylor
he
fans
wanted
would
to
not let that happen.
bro, Texas, we let it happen. Gary Patterson beat us like 7 times in a 10-year span. And not only did we let it happen, we said, please bring in the coach we can't beat. And if you can't beat him, join him. Like,
For
come
real.
on.
For real.
So, hey, yeah, man, I think that's a fair list. That guy off Texas State, I can't remember what you said his name was. GK something. What was it?
GJ Kinney.
GJ Kinney. Sounds like a great option. Jeff Traylor, we've been waiting for him to make a move. As long as Franco Harris is at UTSA, Franco come on to Waco too.
I mean, I won't be mad.
I mean, how much would we love to have Kyron Drones right about now? Or Gary Bohannon. Is he still got eligibility? Come on back.
No,
Probably
he
not.
don't. He was done after last year.
You got anything to add to this, man?
No, I don't know what else I would add. I mean, a lot of things that need to happen.
By 40.
I mean, that's where it starts. It starts this Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna see
Exactly
how
where
much
it starts.
fight and Dave Aranda won it. He said after week 1, we need more physicality, and they had it. They had it in Utah. Let's see what they have in Long Island. We need pancakes on the offensive side of the ball. We need sacks and QB pressures on the defense.
We need turnovers.
Yeah, they're like
on the
-5
defense
right now.
Exactly. Let's get back to 2021 where we were plus 18 or whatever it was.
Jeez, that's crazy.
It was something crazy. Yeah. But let's get back to that. Let's get back to playing green, as Dave Aranda says.
Yeah, turnover ratio is 12 plus 12.
I thought it was more than that.
Last year was 1.
Woo! Right now it's probably like -4.
Now this year it says 1 again, but that's not right. I don't think. Anyhow, with that being said, if y'all made it this far in the video, make sure you like the channel, subscribe, leave some comments. What do y'all think? Is Dave gone? If so, who do you want to replace him? If not, please in the comment section tell us. I should have said this at the beginning. Tell us what 6 games y'all think that Baylor will win this year. Or tell us 4 wins and 2 toss-ups that it's really going to come down to. However y'all want to do it. Buddy, I'm rooting for Baylor. Probably not as much as you are, just because y'all are in panic mode. And it's not as heavy on my heart. I mean, Texas beat Bama, so I'm kind of living good right now. But I am rooting for Baylor. I hope y'all can pull it together. I just don't pull it together week 4. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Until next time. Sickle.